7 mysterious ways low vibrational people destroy your energy. There is an invisible force that drains you every single day, and most people don't even realize it. It's not just stress, it's not just exhaustion, it's something much deeper, something many people can't see, but they can feel. You know that heavy feeling you get after talking to certain people, that foggy mind, that sudden shift in your mood, that unexplained tiredness that makes you feel like you just lost a piece of yourself. That's not random. That's energy manipulation. Low vibrational people are everywhere. Some know exactly what they're doing, feeding off your energy like parasites. Others have no idea that their very presence is like an anchor, pulling everyone around them into a lower state. But the result is always the same. You feel drained, you feel lost, you feel like something inside you is being taken. We are made of energy. Every thought, every emotion, every interaction shifts our vibration in some way. And when you surround yourself with low vibrational people, you are exposing yourself to an invisible war, a war on your spirit, a war on your peace, a war on your very essence. But here's the dangerous part. Most people don't even realize they're under attack. They assume it's just life, just bad luck, just another bad day. They don't see the patterns. They don't recognize the signs. And so, they keep letting these energy-draining forces into their lives, not knowing that every moment spent in their presence is pulling them further and further away from their true power.
Click subscribe to this channel to get more profound spiritual lesson.
But how exactly do these people destroy your energy? The first way is through emotional dumping. Have you ever had a conversation where someone just unloads all their problems onto you without ever stopping to ask how you're doing? They don't want advice. They don't want solutions. They just want to pour their negativity into you, like transferring a virus. And the worst part is, they feel better afterward, but you feel worse. Why? Because they've offloaded their emotional baggage onto you. It's like they've taken their storm and placed it inside your mind, leaving you to deal with the weight of it. And if you don't know how to clear that energy, it lingers. It stays in your body, in your thoughts, in your spirit, slowly lowering your vibration over time. Another way low vibrational people destroy your energy is through constant negativity. You know the type. Nothing is ever good enough. Life is always against them. They complain about everything: the weather, their job, the government, people they barely even know. And the more time you spend around them, the more their energy infects you. It's like a toxic gas, slowly filling the room, making it harder to breathe. And here's the truth that most people don't realize: energy is contagious. Just like spending time with happy, high-energy people can lift you up, spending time with negative, low vibrational people will pull you down. And if you're not careful, their energy will start to become yours. Their thoughts will start to take root in your mind. Their perspective will start shaping your reality. Before you know it, you wake up one day and realize you've become just like them without even meaning to. The third way is subtle manipulation. This is one of the most dangerous because it's not always obvious. Some low vibrational people manipulate through guilt. They make you feel responsible for their problems. They make you feel like you owe them your time, your energy, your emotional labor. And because you are a high-energy person, because you care, because you feel things deeply, you give and give until there's nothing left. Then there are the ones who manipulate through doubt. They plant tiny seeds in your mind, making you question yourself, your dreams, your abilities. They say things like, "Are you sure that's a good idea?" Or, "I don't know, that sounds risky," and at first you brush it off. But over time, those seeds grow. You start to second guess yourself. You start to hesitate. And just like that, They've stolen your confidence. But here's the real question: why do low vibrational people do this? Some do it because they are unconscious. They don't know any better. They are simply repeating patterns, spreading the same energy that was placed upon them. But others do it because they feed on your energy. They need your light because they have lost their own. They need your optimism, your kindness, your life force, because without it, they would collapse under the weight of their own darkness. And so, whether consciously or unconsciously, they do whatever it takes to keep you in their orbit, because as long as you are giving them your energy, they don't have to generate their own. But now, let me ask you something: who in your life is draining you right now? Who are the people that leave you feeling exhausted every time you interact with them? Who are the ones that never bring anything positive into your life, yet always seem to take something from you? And the most important question of all: why are you still allowing them access to your energy? Because here's the truth: you are not obligated to let anyone drain you. Your energy is sacred. Your peace is valuable. And you do not owe anyone unlimited access to your spirit. But breaking free is not always easy, because sometimes the ones draining us are the ones closest to us. Sometimes they are family. Sometimes they are old friends, and the idea of cutting them off feels impossible. But this is where the true test comes in. Because at the end of the day, you have to ask yourself, do you value your own energy enough to protect it? Or will you keep sacrificing yourself for people who do not have the capacity to pour into you the way you pour into them? Most people will never ask themselves these questions. They will continue to live in cycles of exhaustion, never realizing that they are being drained, manipulated, controlled. But you are different. You are awake. You are aware. And now that you see the truth, you cannot unsee it. The only question left is, what will you do with this knowledge? The hidden energetic contracts that keep you stuck in low vibrational relationships and how to break them forever. There is an unseen force that keeps you tied to people who drain you, an invisible contract written not with words, but with energy. These energetic contracts are the reason why you feel obligated to stay connected to certain people, even when every part of you knows they are pulling you down. They are the reason why you keep repeating the same toxic cycles, why you attract the same kinds of draining relationships, why you feel like you can never fully break free. But here's the thing: these contracts are not permanent. They can be broken. They must be broken. Because if you don't, they will continue to siphon your energy for the rest of your life. Most people don't realize they have made these contracts. They assume their connections are just coincidence, just fate, but the truth is, every relationship you have ever had, good or bad, was formed through an energetic exchange. Some of these exchanges are healthy, built on mutual respect and balance, but others are designed to trap you, to keep you stuck, to keep you feeding someone else's energy while your own slowly withers away. These contracts are often formed in moments of deep emotion, when you make a promise to someone, when you feel intense guilt, when you allow someone's pain to become your responsibility. And over time, these contracts solidify, becoming invisible chains that bind you to people who no longer serve your highest good. Think about the relationships in your life right now. Who are the people you feel obligated to help, even when it costs you your own peace? Who are the ones that guilt trip you into staying, the ones who make you feel like you owe them your time, your energy, your emotional labor? This is not love. This is energetic bondage, and the only way to free yourself is to sever these contracts completely, permanently, without hesitation. But how do you do that? How do you break something that you can't even see? The first step is awareness. You must recognize that these contracts exist. You must acknowledge that some of your relationships are not built on love, but on obligation. And this is hard because it forces you to confront the truth that not everyone in your life is meant to stay. Some people entered your life as a lesson, not as a lifelong companion. Some people were only meant to be in your story for a chapter, but you have been forcing them to stay for the entire book. And in doing so, you have been holding yourself back. The second step is energetic detachment. This is where most people struggle, because breaking an energetic contract is not just about cutting someone off physically. It is about removing them from your energy field, from your thoughts, from the deep subconscious patterns that keep pulling you back to them. You must reclaim your energy, piece by piece, until there is nothing left for them to take. One of the most powerful ways to do this is through cord cutting. This is not just a spiritual concept, it is an energetic necessity. Every connection you have with another person creates an energetic cord between you. Some of these cords are strong, filled with love and mutual growth, but others are parasitic, one-sided, draining, and if you do not cut them, they will continue to siphon your energy, no matter how much distance you try to create. Try this. Close your eyes. Take a deep breath. Visualize the person who has been draining you. See the energetic cord that connects you to them. Now, imagine holding a sharp blade, a sword made of pure light. With full intention, cut the cord. Feel the energy disconnect. Feel yourself reclaiming what was always yours. And then, say these words, either out loud or in your mind: I release you. I reclaim my energy. This contract is broken. At first, you might feel resistance. You might feel fear, because for so long this connection has been familiar. And the mind clings to what is familiar, even when it is harmful. But you must remind yourself familiar does not mean safe. Just because you have known someone for years does not mean they are meant to stay in your life. Just because you once loved someone does not mean they still deserve access to your energy. The final step is reinforcing your boundaries. Because here's the thing, once you break these contracts, the people who benefited from your energy will feel it. They will sense the shift, and they will try to pull you back in. They will test you. They will try to guilt you, manipulate you, drag you back into the old cycle. But you must stand firm. You must decide, once and for all, that your energy is yours and yours alone. That you will no longer be a source of free emotional labor. That you will no longer allow guilt to dictate your decisions. That you are done being drained. And this is where the real test begins. Because breaking free is not just about cutting people off, it is about choosing yourself over and over again, even when it's hard, even when it's lonely, even when your old self wants to run back to what is familiar. But you must ask yourself, who do you become once you are free? Who do you become once you are no longer weighed down by energy that isn't yours? Because that version of you, that is your highest self. That is the version of you that was always meant to exist. And that version of you is waiting. The only question left is, will you choose them? The dark side of energy exchange, how low vibrational people secretly feed off your spirit, and how to stop it for good. There is something happening beneath the surface of every interaction you have. It's not just words, not just emotions, there is an exchange of energy happening at all times. And the truth is, not all exchanges are equal. Some people uplift you, inspire you, energize you. Others leave you feeling drained, empty, like something has been taken from you without your permission. This is not just a feeling, this is real. Low vibrational people are constantly feeding off the energy of those around them, whether they realize it or not. And if you are not aware of this, you are already a target. But how does this work? How do they take your energy without you even knowing? The first and most common way is through emotional manipulation. We've all experienced it, someone who always makes themselves the victim, who always needs saving, who always pulls you into their chaos. They don't look like villains. They don't seem like bad people. In fact, they often present themselves as helpless, as needing your help, your support, your love. But here's what's really happening. They are using their suffering as a hook to pull you into their energy field. And once you are there, they feed. They take your attention, your compassion, your emotional strength, while giving nothing in return. And the more you engage, the more they take. It's like a black hole. No matter how much you give, it's never enough. Because they don't actually want solutions. They don't want to heal. They want to keep feeding. The second way is through conflict and chaos. Some people thrive on negativity. They create drama where there is none. They provoke arguments. They stir up tension. And they do it for one reason, because conflict generates energy. Think about the last time you were in an argument that left you exhausted. Why did you feel so drained? Because conflict is an energy exchange, and low vibrational people know how to use it to their advantage. They push your buttons, they trigger your emotions, they get a reaction, and in that reaction, they extract energy. This is why some people always seem to have problems, always seem to be in the middle of some kind of disaster. It's not an accident, it's a pattern. And if you are not careful, you will find yourself caught in a cycle where they keep creating chaos, and you keep giving them your energy in response. Another way they drain you is through subconscious programming. This is one of the most dangerous because it happens so subtly that you don't even realize it's happening. These are the people who plant doubt in your mind, who make you question yourself, who convince you that you are not enough. They don't attack you outright. They don't openly insult you. Instead, they use small, seemingly innocent comments. Are you sure you can do that? I don't know if that's realistic. Maybe you should play it safe. And over time, these tiny seeds grow. They take root in your subconscious, shaping your beliefs, lowering your vibration, making you more susceptible to their influence. Because the lower your confidence, the easier you are to control. The weaker your belief in yourself, the more power they have over you. And once they have access to your mind, they no longer need to steal your energy. You give it to them willingly. But here's the real question: why do they do this? Why do some people feel the need to take energy from others instead of generating their own? The answer is simple: because they are disconnected from their own source. They have lost their connection to their inner power, to their higher self, to the divine energy that flows through all of us. And when you are disconnected from yourself, you have no choice but to take from others. This is why they are drawn to high-energy individuals, to those who radiate light, to those who have strong spiritual energy, because they need that energy to survive. They need your light to fill the void within them. And they will do whatever it takes to keep that supply going. But now, let me ask you this: who in your life is feeding off your energy right now? Who are the people that always leave you feeling exhausted, that always seem to take but never give? And the most important question of all: why are you still allowing it? Because here's the truth: you do not have to be a source of energy for anyone but yourself. You do not have to engage in these draining exchanges. You do not have to be a fuel source for someone else's survival. So how do you stop it? How do you reclaim your energy once and for all? The first step is recognition. You must become aware of how your energy is being used. Pay attention to how you feel after interactions. If you always feel lighter, happier, more alive after spending time with someone, that is a sign of a healthy energy exchange. But if you feel drained, anxious, depleted, that is a sign that you are being fed on. And once you recognize this pattern, you can no longer ignore it. The second step is energetic boundaries. This means learning to say no. This means refusing to engage in unnecessary conflict. This means walking away from conversations that feel like traps. This means protecting your space, your time, your emotional energy like your life depends on it, because in many ways it does. Low vibrational people will test you. They will push your limits. They will try to guilt you, manipulate you, pull you back in. But you must stand firm. You must decide that your energy is sacred and that not everyone deserves access to it. And the final step is raising your own vibration, because the higher your frequency, the harder it is for low vibrational people to reach you. Darkness cannot exist where there is too much light. The more you align with your highest self, the more you focus on your own growth, your own healing, your own spiritual power, the less susceptible you become to energy theft. You become untouchable. You become a force that cannot be drained, that cannot be manipulated, that cannot be controlled. But here's the ultimate test. Will you have the courage to walk away from what is draining you, even if it means walking alone? Because breaking free is not just about protecting your energy, it is about stepping into your true power. It is about becoming the version of yourself that is no longer affected by lower vibrations. And that version of you, that is the version that changes everything. The final awakening: how to become an untouchable force of energy that no one can drain. There comes a moment in your journey where you must decide, will you continue to be drained, manipulated, and controlled by low vibrational forces, or will you rise above it all and become untouchable? This is the final awakening, the point where you stop being a victim of energy theft and start commanding your own field with absolute authority. Because here's the truth: no one can take your energy without your permission. Every time you feel drained, every time you feel pulled down, it is because, on some level, you allowed it. And once you fully grasp this, once you understand that you are the gatekeeper of your own power, everything changes. Becoming untouchable does not mean you will never encounter low vibrational people again. They will still exist. They will still try to pull you in. But the difference is, they will no longer have access to your energy. Their words will not affect you. Their negativity will not reach you. Their manipulation will bounce off of you like waves crashing against a mountain. Because you will have built something indestructible within yourself, an energy so strong, so pure, so self-sustaining that nothing external can shake it. The first step to reaching this level is mastering your emotional state. You cannot be drained by what you do not react to. Low vibrational people thrive on reaction. They need you to engage, to argue, to feel guilty, to feel obligated. But when you stop feeding them with your emotional energy, they lose their grip on you. This means no longer explaining yourself to people who are committed to misunderstanding you, no longer justifying your boundaries, no longer feeling responsible for fixing others. Your energy is yours, and you do not owe it to anyone. The second step is becoming a generator of your own energy. Most people rely on external sources for their energy: validation from others, approval, attention, distractions. But this makes them vulnerable. Because the moment those external sources are taken away, they collapse. But when you learn to generate your own energy through meditation, through movement, through deep connection with yourself, you become self-sustaining. You no longer need to seek energy outside of yourself. You are the source. And when you are the source, no one can take from you. The final step is elevating your frequency so high that low vibrational forces cannot reach you. Energy operates on frequency. Darkness cannot exist in the presence of intense light. When you raise your vibration through gratitude, through love, through alignment with your highest self, you naturally become inaccessible to anything that operates on a lower frequency. The people who once drained you will either rise with you or fall away. The situations that once triggered you will no longer affect you. You will move through the world with a level of inner peace that cannot be disturbed. But here's the real question: Are you willing to let go of everything that no longer aligns with your highest frequency? Because this is the final test. The reason most people never reach this level is because they are still holding on to things that keep them tied to lower vibrations, old relationships, old habits, old beliefs. And as long as you cling to these things, you will remain vulnerable. But the moment you release them, the moment you decide that your energy is your most valuable possession and you will protect it at all costs, that is the moment you become truly free. And once you are free, once you are untouchable, you will realize something profound: you were never meant to be drained. You were meant to shine, and now nothing can stop you.